I took my name off the lease of the apartment my best friend and I share, without telling her until the landlord called to confirm, and she found out on a Tuesday morning before work, and the look on her face is something I haven't been able to put down since. Simone and I have lived together for 3 years. We met through a mutual friend, moved in as acquaintances who thought we might get along, and became something closer than either of us expected. She's the person I call when something happens before I've even processed what the something is. She came to my father's memorial and didn't try to say the right thing, just sat next to me in the pew and handed me her water bottle because she'd noticed I hadn't drunk anything all day. That kind of person. The apartment is in her name originally. When I moved in a year later, we added mine to the lease during a renewal, more for practical reasons than anything else, so I could handle maintenance requests and sign for packages without it being complicated. It felt like a formality at the time. About 4 months ago, things between us started to shift in a way I noticed but couldn't name. She started having her boyfriend Luca over 5 nights a week. He's not a bad person, I want to be clear about that. He's just present in a way that changed the texture of the apartment. Dishes that weren't mine. A particular brand of coffee I don't drink taking up counter space. The bathroom in the morning. A rotation now instead of a rhythm. Small things, but I live in small things. I tried once to bring it up gently. I said something like, it might be nice to check in about the schedule just so we're both comfortable. Simone said he's basically my partner. I didn't think you'd want me to put him on a calendar. I said I wasn't asking for a calendar. She said, you kind of are. And we moved past it and I told myself I was being rigid. 2 months ago, Luca's lease ended and the conversation I had been avoiding became very loud in my head very fast. Nothing was said directly, but I could feel the direction of things, the way you can feel weather changing before the rain actually arrives. I started looking at other apartments. I found one I could afford alone, a smaller place, quieter, 12 minutes away, available in 60 days. I put down a deposit on a Wednesday afternoon after a viewing, and then I called the landlord of our current place and asked to be removed from the lease at renewal. I told myself I would tell Simone that night. Then I told myself I would wait until I had everything confirmed. I kept finding reasons to wait for a better moment that I was apparently never going to create. She found out on a Tuesday when the landlord called her to go over the renewal terms and mentioned in passing that it would just be her name going forward. She knocked on my bedroom door 10 minutes later. I was still in pajamas. She stood in the doorway and said, "You're leaving and you didn't tell me." And the way she said it wasn't angry, it was something quieter than anger that landed harder. I told her I was sorry. I told her I'd found a place, that it was near enough that nothing between us had to change, that I hadn't known how to bring it up without it becoming a bigger conversation than I was ready for. She stood there and let me finish, and then she said, "I would have made room for you." And I didn't know what to say to that. She means Luca. She means she would have managed things differently if I had just told her I was struggling. She's probably right. And I'm sitting with the possibility that I didn't tell her, because some part of me had already made the decision and didn't want her to talk me out of it, which is a thing I do. Make decisions quietly and present them finished, so there's nothing left to negotiate. My therapist has a name for that pattern. I don't love the name. I move out in 3 weeks. We are still talking, still making coffee in the same kitchen, still texting things we see that remind us of each other. But there is a layer of something between us now that wasn't there before. Not quite hurt, more like a careful awareness of what I'm capable of when I decide I need out of something. She deserved the conversation first. I knew that, and I made a different choice anyway.